Hello everyone. So today we are going to continue with the main map. So here now you can see we show these A, B, these icons, these markers on the main map. Here you can see this icon also on the main map. So they are coming from these actors that I have in the world, where if I select this windmill for example, and we have the marker, and if I enable show on main map, it appears on the main map. So that's how I show these markers on the main map. And as I zoom and pan around the map, I'm gonna update the marker as well. So let's see how to do these things today. Right, so before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I have done in my channel. Once you become a member, you can access all the projects, all thousands of projects I have done from this Patreon page. And here is the full playlist of this series. Everything is implemented from scratch and explained. You can follow these episodes and implement everything by yourself too. Right, now let's get started with today's episode. So right now we are just showing these building markers only, but later on we will implement the system. We will expand the system to show actors if needed, and also any other improvements to the system as well. But for now we are going to focus on how to show these built-in markers in the map. Okay, so this is what we have worked on so far. We can go to this menu and go to the map and zoom in, zoom out, and also when we have zoomed in we can pan the map, move around, so we can do all those things. Okay, so the next step is how to get icons to show up in the map. That means here, that means just like in the minimap, we can see these icons. We want to see them in the main map as well. Okay, so the first step is here. Let me open the map blueprint, main map. Here under this along with this map image, on top of this I want to add map icons, like maybe separate widgets, but right now I'm not able to do that because this is an image. So what I'm planning to do is I'm gonna wrap this map with the canvas panel, and I'll call this CP, stands for canvas panel map. I'll make it a variable. Later on I will need that. And now you can see this size is changed. So I'll wrap this with a size box, and I'll add this width override and height override 1024. That's the value I had before, and then I'll set the anchoring of this image to contain the entire area. Okay, now it looks good, but now we have to change our zoom function again. Here I think we should collapse this to a function. Zoom. Okay, and now map image, this wouldn't work on map image. So instead of that, let me select the size box and I'll change this into a variable SB map. SB stands for size box. Maybe we don't need a underscore here. CP map. Now SB map, size box map, I'll get it here, Can I get the desired size of this? Yes, I can. And then we don't need to set the image size. Instead, I can set width override of the size box and set height override and update these values. And the zoom function will start working again. And the values we can calculate from this. Split. X goes here, Y goes here. Let's check. Yeah, zoom in is working, pan in is working. Okay, now we can work on how to get icons into the map. For that, here I'll go to this S map marker data, and here can I duplicate this? No. I'll add a new variable. Show on main map. Okay, by default I'll make it false. Maybe move it here. And then, yeah. First thing is, we would in order to add items into the map, we would need to know the size of the map image in the word units. So that means we would need to access this map manager actor, because here we have all this map size and map center and the texture or any other option that we might add later. So we might need to get access to this actor from here. So I will add a function here, update map parameters, and here I'll get actor of class map manager, and I'll promote this to a variable. Do I need to promote this to a variable? Maybe not. Can check is valid. If I need a variable, I might promote it later. So first thing I would need is map size. Have this map data, yeah, and we have everything here. Yeah, this is a structure, I forgot. This is map data structure. Okay, so that means we can promote this to a variable, map data. Okay, and I'll so yeah, this is not required. Okay, I'll leave it for now as this is, and then trigger, so it's fine. I'll leave it here. Let's add a construct. No, uninitialized. I don't want to add this event, call this event in uninitialize or unconstruct, because that would fire whenever we start the game, because this main map is already created in the HUD. Because main map is going to be a part of this main UI. Oh, not here. Yeah, actually here. It's here. So that will fire. I don't want to do that. Therefore, I will create a function. Let's say initialize map, and then let's go to the HUD. Here we have switch to map, switch to main map, yeah. And we can call initialize here. Initialize map, okay. All right, now let's go here. First thing we need to do is update map parameters. Let's call this, and let's add another function, load map markers. So here basically I would need to identify the actors that I need to show on the map, and then add widgets or whatever the image markers that represent those actors within the map. So for that, how do we differentiate out of all the actors that I want to show on the map? So we can use this. These are the things that we can use. Either we can get all actors of class, but I don't want to limit a certain classes to be shown in the map. So I need to keep the flexibility of showing any class, because I can add the map marker component to any actor. Therefore, get all actors with tag. I'm going to use this one, and the tag, I'll promote this to a variable, show on main map tag, and as the value I'm gonna use show on main map. So none of the actors would be written here because I haven't added this tag to any actor. Therefore, here, let's say the first, I have this marker component, and here in the begin play, okay, well, we don't need to wait for the delay. Let's add a function here, double click to add a reroute node, and then collapse to function, add tags, okay. Oh, triple D. Now here I'll get the map marker properties, and then write this here. If I need to show on main map, if this is true, I'm gonna add that tag to the owner actor which this marker component is added. So we can get to owner, and then we can access tags. Then I think we would need to promote this to a variable, tags, just in case this actor has any other tags too. So we need to preserve there, and then add a new tag. So this I'll promote to a local variable, not a local variable, a global one. Well, by global I mean this in this actors scope. Show on main map tag, and the value should be this. And then I'll add this actor tags, set tags back on the owner. Tags. Okay. Now this tag will be added so that we can identify the actors that I need to show on the main map. To make sure this is working, let's run a for each loop and let's print the name of the actor. Display name. I'll keep it for 10 seconds so we have enough time to read. And here I want to show this is windmill. Let me open this, and in the marker I need to enable this show on main map, otherwise the tag will not be added. Play M, nothing is shown. Okay, alright, that's because I didn't call this load markers here. Now it should work. Let's see. Oh, here we have problem. This value is just show on main map. We should not have the tag part. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, see, now we see windmill, all the windmills list, so it is working. Alright, great. Now how to actually add the marker into the map. So to do that, I think, so in this structure I have this minimap widget. So maybe for now let's just use the same thing. We can add a new widget, main map widget, and use that too. What's the best thing? Yeah, let's just use the minimap widget for now. We can later define a new widget if needed. And then here, let's pass the actor to another function. Maybe let's add a reroute node here. The reroute node here. Oh no. The reroute node here. Select both and collapse to function. Add marker. This is, let's call it actor. Okay, now let's go here. Now from this we can get component by class map marker component. Oh, marker component, map marker. Right, now from this we can get map marker properties. Then we can grab this, and here we have the minimap widget. So let's create widget. And then we need to give the on in player. So get on in player. We need to pass the map marker data as well. So we can pass it like this. Let me promote this as a variable. Let's call it marker widget. Then I'll add this to the canvas, this CP map. That means this one, For example, like this. Marker like this. And I need to set the alignment to 0.5, and the anchor it to the center size like this, so that using the center position of the map we can calculate the position. So for that, let's go back, CP map, add child, sorry, not this, add child to canvas. This is the child, and here we get the canvas panel slot. I'll select alignment to 0.5 by 0.5 as I explained before, and then set anchors to anchors, that's also to the center, 5.5. And the size, okay, set size. So we can retrieve size from from here, marker size. So this is actually the minimap marker size. I'll use that, no problem. That should be alright for now. Yeah. Now this would be added just to the canvas panel, but we need to update the position of that. So how do we do that? Well, here we have the mark. We would need to add this to an array as well, but that comes later. So we have the marker widget. I'll get the reference, and let's create a function just like this. So no, we need a read output, and let's call this function update marker position. Okay, now let's go inside. Instead of input pin, I'll call it marker. Now from here we can get data. What's the marker data? Map marker data, and from this we can access the actor. So get actor position, actor location. Oh, not set, get actor location. So from here we can subtract this map center, right? And yeah, map center. So this is texture vector 2D. So yeah, that's fine. Can I convert this to vector 2D? Yeah, we can. And then we can divide this by this map size, and this map size relevance to the size of this widget, this map image itself. That means this size, width override, the current width override of the width or height both are same, so that this correlates with that. So therefore I'll divide this with the SP map with desired size. It should work. I'm not 100% sure. Let's try. Okay. That should be the position, but this would change if I zoom in and zoom out. In that case, I would need to call this update marker position again. So yeah, in that case, we would need to keep a reference to all the markers. But yeah, let's do that next. So we have the marker now. Get marker slot as canvas panel slot. Set position. Okay. Set this. Oh, actually, this should be a multiplier, not a divider. Okay, now let's play the game. And oh, yeah. So here you can see B actually should be over here, not here. The reason is, and C should be over here. The reason is because this is the X forward axis to up, and it doesn't represent in the world direction. Here, let me explain. So map is like this. Map is actually like this. X is this way. You can see that here. So our calculation, X is this way in the world settings. In the world coordinate space, X is this way, Y is this way. But in the viewport, in this widget space, X is this way and Y is this way, downward. Therefore, it should be interchanged. This position setting. Let me break this. So Y goes to X and X multiplied by -1 goes to this. And also one more thing, here in the marker component, I set the actor here. This is where I set this world actor. I should have done that earlier because I'm using this world actor, and if I open the map 2 seconds before spending these 2 seconds, I would have a problem. So therefore, I'll cut this part. Right. First, let's just do this. Then cut this part from here. And instead of this add tags, I'll rename this initialize actor. To this. Go properties. Okay. Down. There right here. Now let's check. Why only C is shown here? It's a problem. And now it shows it's not correct. But if I switch again, I can see, yeah. So let's test again. It doesn't seem to consistently load. See, it shows up here and here. So this doesn't look right. So I think the problem might be here in this initialize map. Here update map parameters and load map markers. Maybe this might happen because when I call the load map markers, we don't have a valid map data. That could be a reason, I think. So what we can do is, what if I call here load map markers? Just for testing. Initialize. Okay. Yep. Second time it works for some reason. I also promoted this to actor just to see what happens. Let's try this. Initialize map. Delete this one. And let's convert this to an event. And let's expand this. And let's add a small delay here just to see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, now it's all good. Positions are correct, and the both markers does load properly. Okay, and we also have some marker over here too. I think yeah, yeah, it does appear over here. It's a bit out of the position. Oh, one thing. Now here you see when I zoom in, zoom out, the position is totally wrong. So we need to update the markers. For that, we can do this. When I add marker, let's create this an array of this type, not variable. Our name is markers. Let's name it markers and change it to an array. Change. Okay. Now markers add. Now every time when we try to add a marker, we can check. Oh, we can't check that. We need to clean up markers. So load map markers. Here we can get not that does, but markers. We can run a for each loop. Remove from parent, and then here the markers array, and get on with the rest. So we will avoid duplicating. It is working. And when we zoom in and zoom out, we need to update, and also when we pan, we need to update the location. So where should we do that? Maybe here. This is not just zoom. Okay, let's add a function. Update marker positions. All marker positions. And then get markers. For each loop, we can run an update position. Update mark position. Yeah. Can do that, and we should call it after this. Update all marker positions. Right, let's see. Now even if I pan, the marker positions stays in the correct location. So yeah, everything is working as intended. And here this appears as a white dot. That's because we are using an icon for this instead of text. Actually, this is not designed to show in the minimap at all, so I don't have a letter or I don't have a icon. So let me just add this icon, but I'm not sure this will show up because I never plan to add any markers, any icons to the minimap marker. So this might be something that we need to do later. Yeah, it appears. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's all I'm planning to do for today. But we still need to do some polishing work here, and I'll leave that for upcoming episodes. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download here in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.